Hey guys, so we've got the remix here. So I announced about doing the Facebook Live tonight that thanks to Ann Pizzala who reached out to help some business owners understand the ins and out of going live and some best practices. And uh, in order to demonstrate showing my phone and how to do that, I had to connect Zoom to live stream on Facebook Live and then connect my phone to the Zoom. And it did not seem to like all three of those things happening at once. So we did it. Some people hopped over to a Zoom itself, but I'm going to just give you the quick and dirty version, do a quick redo to show everyone what we went over and answer some of the questions so that it's in a shorter little nugget without all the technical troubleshooting and a little better visibility for all of you who are watching it now. So here we go. So first what I'm going to do actually, since I'm doing it this way, is I'm going to show first how to do it on your Facebook page itself. So I am going to screen share my Facebook page. And as you can see, if you're going to do it from your computer, which many of you may be doing, those of you who are realtors or retail stores or restaurants or someone out in a business may not do it from your computer. But if you are a service provider or somebody who's providing coaching services or direct person to person or training classes, you may be doing it from your computer. So doing it from your computer, you'll go to your Facebook page and you'll see right at the top here is a live. So you'll click that button, and I'm looking back and forth because I'm dual screening here. So first what you'll do is say, yes, you want it to access your camera. So you're going to allow that. Now, if you haven't done this or you're just getting started with live, you're going to see this live producer is the new way to go. If you've used this before, go ahead and click that. For now, I'm actually saying dismiss because I've noticed some bugs in the new things that Facebook is changing right now. So until they force it upon me, or when I have some more time to test it without doing training or client consulting, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this and go ahead and do it the good old-fashioned way, which is what I'm showing you here. So then when you dismiss that, you're going to click on camera. You've got all this other tech stuff here. This is for people who are trying to pair with other kinds of things to, incorporate an HD camera or different audio and video types of things. We're going to keep it basic here and just say, use my camera. Okay. I'm getting this message again, so I'm going to dismiss it. Now, what we want to do is first make sure that you're sharing it on your page, on your business page, or you can share it on your timeline. Your timeline means your personal account. So then from here, what you want to do is, it says say something. Okay, so I'm going to say, I'm training, if I can spell, training business owners to go live on Facebook. Now, what you might want to do, however, is make that a little bit more witty and fun. So I'm just showing you the how-tos here. But if you have something intriguing, really helpful, supportive, feel free to add emojis in there. You can incorporate all of that. You can also, like I said, you can check in. So if you're at a location and you want to make sure you're checking into your store, your venue, or perhaps somebody else's, you can check into a location. These other buttons are like if you're raising money, you can support a nonprofit. And then these are just showing different things. You want to make sure it's your FaceTime HD camera. This is my audio. I'm currently using a Yeti mic, so that's why it says that. If you don't have a separate mic, you'll just want to make sure you use the internal built-in microphone if you don't have anything else special going on there. And then you can add tags. I can say like small business or things like that. And you can also share it to a group if you run a group. Now, I'm not going to say go live because these things running in tandem make kind of a little technological hiccup of each other like we saw earlier, but basically from there, you will just click go live. It will go live on your page. And then once you've done that, you'll have the opportunity to then say share to my page so that it stays there so people can come back and see it later. And you can download a live video once it has been broadcasted and posted onto your page. Why would you do that? Well, you can download that video. You can edit it to put branding into it if you'd like. You could then share it on LinkedIn, or you could share it in smaller nuggets on Instagram. You can place it on YouTube. So there's a lot of reasons you might want to share or save and download a Facebook video once it is done. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So what I'm going to do, this has changed. So this is something that is, again, kind of buggy since Facebook is making a lot of changes. So what I'm going to tell you to do is come over here to videos on your page. It used to be, yes, go ahead and leave this page. I'm not going live. So it used to be if you just clicked on the top right 3 buttons of a video, you could just download it right there. That has not been working for me and a lot of clients consistently right now. So what I've been doing is coming into this option to find my videos. Here, I'm gonna say, this is a video I just did earlier in the week that I went live on. I'm gonna click into that video. And then once it fully renders here, I'm gonna come over to these 3 dots and say download video, okay? So when I do that, if you can see in the bottom left-hand corner over here, it is downloading, okay? And so it's gonna download into an MP4 format. I can change the title, I can import it into iMovie, I can share it with my phone and use some editing tools there, but that's what's gonna allow you to do other things with that video once it is done, okay? So I'm gonna now share my phone so that you can see how to go live on either your personal Facebook account or your business account on your device. Now, keep in mind, I'm using an iPhone. So those of you that have an Android or another kind of device, it may look a little bit different. Some of those features and functions sometimes look a little bit different. So this is the iPhone 11. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to make sure your phone is on Do Not Disturb, right? So if we're going live, we don't want to be interrupted by emails and text messages and phone calls that could interrupt the live or just distract us from a amazing stream of thought that we're having, right? So the first thing you want to do is turn it on Do Not Disturb. Next, I'm going to first show you going live on your personal page. Something I always let people know is that Facebook terms of service do say that we are not supposed to go live or use our personal Facebook account for commercial purposes. Well, right now during these times, first of all, hopefully they're not going to lock down too hard on people doing that. But second of all, we're really not trying to sell hard during this time, right? We're coming about this with a different kind of messaging during the shelter in place. Yes, small businesses are suffering, but we're also going about things from a place of support and community building. So I'm presuming that if you are using your personal account to go live, we're not doing heavy sales pitches right now. We're helping one another, and we're just trying to kind of survive and thrive in what's happening right now. The other reason you might want to start with your personal account, even if your plan is to go live on your Facebook business page, is because we can practice here without anyone seeing us. And this is why I like to start here. So what I'm going to show you is we go to your personal Facebook account. You tap on this live button. I'm going to turn on my little highlighter so that the Zoom will record where these little spots are, right? So here we're going to click on the live. And then you can see it's going to bring up these filters. I'm going to hide this because we're doing a training for business purposes. So I'm presuming you don't want to have a little microphone or a mask on your face. So here is where we can test this. So typically, I just did this. So typically when we put this on, it's going to be our default Facebook privacy level, right? So it's either going to be friends or public. Mine is usually set to public. But if you're coming here to just kind of test this out and get the lay of the land, what you can do is tap that, change it to only me, okay? And then once you get out of that, it's gonna say only me. And what that means is you can actually start the live video and no one is gonna see you. Okay, so now it says only me. I wanna add a description, right? So as you're initially going live, this can just be a real strong phrase with good keywords. It can be useful to add emojis. That's always fun. People like those. They stand out a little bit. And then you can put a nice strong tagline. You know, I might just say something like free training for small business owners to go live on Facebook. If I had a little bit more creative writing skill, might be something savvier and more intriguing than that. But for our purposes right now, I'll just say, make sure you have a strong keyword phrase description that lets people know exactly what you're talking about in this live. The other thing you can do here is you can tag people. So if I want to say, hey, I'm with Hope, or I want to call attention to Hope. Now, don't just do this for calling attention, but it may be it's your business partner or somebody that, you know, participates in your business with you. So not for spammy purposes. So you can do that as well, right? So you can add that, tag a person, you can add, you know, emojis, and you could also check into a location. So if I was, let's say, doing a fitness video from Full Circle with Holly, I could put that up there and check into that location. The other things you have the option to do are turn your camera around. So if you're a realtor and you're doing showings, you might be flipping this back and forth to show people something and then talk to somebody about something else. And then the other thing you have here is your lighting. So you can change that a little bit as well. Okay, so those are the things that, you know, and this little button up here also allows you, if you're doing a fundraiser, to add a donate button if that nonprofit has a page and donations set up on Facebook. Okay, so those are all the basics. And now what I can do, especially because it says only me, is I can actually start that live video. And so if you've never done this before, this is a great option. It's set to only me, no one else can see it. You're actually going live and you can test out some of these little different features and things along the way, like adding filters. We don't want to do that. Adding effects. We probably don't want to do that either. You can, again, change the camera, flip it around back and forth, change your lighting, and this allows you to see comments. So if people are commenting, it allows you to see them, or I can comment back here by tapping on that little bubble. All right. So then we're going to say finish because we're done with that. It's going to end the video, and then it's going to give you some options, which include saving it. So like I said, this is easier than on the laptop. This I like because it just says straight out, save this. So you tap that button, save it on your phone. You can do any editing with that. Then what you can do is share it. So before you hit delete, you don't want to hit delete unless it was like this is your test one. But then you share it to your timeline, and that's going to keep it there on your timeline. Okay, and that's what you want, because you want people to come back and be able to see it after it's gone live. All right, for now, because this is a test, I am going to tap delete and remove that video. Okay, so that's how you do it on your personal account. Now, there's a few things. I mentioned the idea of selling on your personal account versus your page. The other reason, however, you might want to do it on your personal account is because of visibility. We already know that it's tough. The algorithm is tough to compete with. And especially in today's world, people are connecting so much more at a personal level and with groups and things like that that are more personal and, you know, helping build our motivation, inspiration, and keeping us emotionally and mentally happy during this time, which means brand pages are not getting seen as much. So that's kind of another ding there. We'll talk a little bit about ads and boosting later, but think about if your page already has a strong presence in the newsfeed, or if you don't have a lot of following and you don't get a lot of engagement or reach on your page, you may want to go live on your personal account, and then you can always put the video on your page. Or you can go live on your page, and then when it's done, share it to your personal account to get more visibility. It really depends on your goal, and if you really want people there live with you, or if you really just want to get that video out and get the visibility for it to help and support people. So with that, now I'm going to go over to my page, which leads me to one other point in between that, which is a lot of you may just be using this regular Facebook app for your personal account and your page, but I want to make sure you have this Facebook Pages app with the flag on it, right? This helps you directly manage your Facebook page in a more effective way, and with all the features and functions that you really need to have to make sure there are no mistakes or glitches or accidentally doing things as your personal account on your page. So you want to make sure to have this Facebook Pages app, and we're going to tap on that, and I'm going to go to my home. And now here, the starting point is a little bit different. So we're going to go over here and say publish. And then you will see live video pops up. So I'm going to do that. And it looks very much the same as the personal version. And what I'm going to do again, because we're doing this for business purposes, I'm not going to have a cat face, is just tap that button there to get those filters out of the way. Again, you want to make sure that you add a really good description. Add goodness. I like that too. Okay. And here again, you can add some emojis. You can check into your location or the location you're at or a location you're trying to support. And here you see up here, it also says public like it did on my personal account, but tapping that changes nothing. Okay. So keep in mind that when you do this on your business page, it is public, period. Okay. So you gotta be ready. All right, so that's really it there. I'm gonna say done to open up the screen, and then I can start my live video. I'm not gonna do that now because I already have enough technical glitches on my Facebook page tonight from trying this before, but just keep in mind that just like, so I'm gonna close this out, just like on the personal one that I showed you, when you end it, you're gonna have the option to save it and post it. It's just gonna be in a little bit of a different place on the Facebook page. On the page, when you end your video, the save button, again, I'm on the iPhone 11, but it's gonna be on the top right instead of on the bottom left. So if you wanna save and edit that video, of course you can always save it and download it again once it's live, but if you wanna keep it simple and save it to your phone, that's the best time to do it. And then on the bottom is gonna be post to the page, okay? So then, what you want to do after that is go back to it and edit it, right? So when we went through this before, I'm going to discard this. You know, I talked about putting in a quick description with a strong headline to capture people's attention when you've gone live, right? Well, what you want to do then is after it's posted onto your page is go in and edit that, and you can add more descriptions to it. So, for example, here's one that I did earlier in the week. And at the time, you know, I just put a quick little description in. But then after I posted it, what I did was I came in and I clicked these 3 little dots and I went into edit and I added the rest of this copy. Okay, so that's what you can do once it's done, is you can add a little bit more to it. And also, you know, if you're selling something or you're trying to drive traffic somewhere, I could also say, sign up at sukoch.com, or if I had like I have an online LinkedIn training program, I could put that in there. If I have a Facebook ads online program, I could put that link in there. So that way, now that this post lives on your page, you can actually make sure that any web links are in there that you want to call attention to. Okay, so that is then the next step. So you'll go live, post it on the page, make any edits to the description to make it a little bit more juicy, a little more informative, and add any links and other drivers and calls to actions in the post that you'd like to add. Now, here was one of the next questions that came up for those who were able to hop onto the Zoom when I had the little breakdown. And that was, should I put money on this? And the answer is you can, and it depends on what you're trying to achieve, but it can be a good idea because, again, as I mentioned earlier, the algorithm is tough these days. There's a lot of competition out there. And when you boost a post, it allows you to put a little bit of money on it to make sure that you get a bit more visibility on it. So another question was, do I do full Facebook ads or a post boost? Now, that goes a lot deeper, okay? Certainly doing a strong long-term ad campaign with a targeted audience and a certain budget is always a good thing to consider. However, again, during this time that we're in, there's a lot of competition for ads. There's a lot of competition for space in the news feed. And we're also trying to be really cautious around our brand message and selling right now. So if you're doing videos that are helping you to support and build community around your local businesses, really allowing you to survive and thrive during this time, even especially providing educational marketing or support for people from a mental and emotional wellness perspective. I think a great thing to do, and also as a small business owner, saving money, right? A great thing to do is each time you go live, feel free to go ahead once it's posted on your page, tap that boost button, and you can say, hey, I want to put some money on this. The last thing I did was actually a podcast with a doctor, which is why my audience is showing that right now. But what you can do is I have a budget and it says $25. Well, I can change that. right? I can drop that down. I can say $5. That's all I want to do. That's going to tell me that's not enough for 10 days. Okay, well then I'll boost it for 5 days. So that's a great way to just put a little bit of money on something and make sure that it gets a little bit more visibility. So I can save that. I can change this now that I know, like, let's say I want this to go out to my fitness instructors. I have a lot of different audiences, so I can pick that. The other thing you can do is just create a new audience. You would do that by tapping on edit. Okay, so if you tap edit, you can go ahead and change the audience, change who's included in there, add or exclude locations. So play around with that. But the easiest thing to do is just tap that boost button. You can even say people who like my page and their friends. I typically advise against that because it doesn't give us the best target. But right now we're trying to get some good visibility on the work that we're doing. So I'm going to save that. It's just a test. And then the other thing you're going to see in there is that it gives you placements. So all this means, and I'm going to keep it simple for now, is if you have an Instagram account, it will allow you, if your Instagram account is connected to your page, it will allow you to also deliver that ad through Instagram, which can be really helpful because then you can also identify where did it do better? Did it do better on Facebook or did it do better on Instagram? Did my demographics differ between Facebook and Instagram? So there's great data in there. Okay, and then I would just say boost post now. Now I'm not going to do that on this one, so I'm going to get out of here, but I did want to show you that that is an option once you have posted your live video to boost it and get a little bit more visibility out of it. So a couple other questions that came up. How long should I wait? So that also depends. If you are doing this from a Facebook page that has a strong weight in the algorithm and people typically see your content, you may get a lot of people watching right out of the gate. Right? If you have not done a lot on your Facebook page, which I haven't done a lot on my Facebook page in a while, and you go live, you might have a couple people there, and that's okay. You know, keep it consistent. The more consistent you are, especially if you do it, say, every day at the same time or once a week at the same time, you can create an event to let people know that you're going to go live, right? So you can do that from your app. You can do that from your regular Facebook, you know, laptop. You can create an event this way and say, I'm going to go live every week at this time. Join me for this purpose. So there's a lot of ways of getting a little bit more traction. So if you go live consistently, you'll get more visibility. If you let people know in advance, you'll get more visibility. But don't worry about that. Just do it, get the exposure, get used to it, and it will grow over time, okay? Also remember that once you go live, I'm gonna get out of this event. Like I said before, personal accounts are getting more visibility than pages organically. So if I do this, like this one here, I went live on my page. Now it's living on my page. I can share it. And I say, write post. And then what I want to do here is change this. I don't want to post it again on my page. What I can do is say, I'm going to post this on my news feed. And that is going to allow me to now share this with a whole new audience of people who maybe do not follow my Facebook page or simply because of the algorithm did not see my live video on the Facebook page, okay? Now I wanna say something about it again. I wanna get creative. I wanna write copy, write clean copy and let people know exactly what this was about and why they should watch it, why it's helpful. Again, I can add a location to it if I want to. I can add a feeling. I'm feeling excited about this live video. So you want to add those little things to your post just like you normally would before you share it. So that's another option as well. I suggest not doing that at exactly the same time, right? So if I were live now and I shared this to my page now, maybe I'd wait till tomorrow or the next day to share it on my personal account unless it is of an urgency, right? So that is the overview of the how-to on the desktop, laptop, the how-to on the personal account, whether you're just testing it in private mode or not, and then also the how-to on the business page, some options for boosting, and some options for sharing it later on your personal timeline. So there was another question also, around placement. So something else, this isn't the greatest background here. I'm doing a quick training, also trying to see, different places in my home office that I'm working out of. But some tips to give you if you are, working from home or wherever you might be is just make sure that your lighting is good. You want your lighting in front of you, right? So if I am going to show you on my phone again what it would look like if I turned, I'm going to hit the go live button again. If I turn, you can see different lighting. And this is my back window. And actually that almost looks better right now. But earlier in the day, with the light shining in, if it's right behind you, you might actually look like a big shadow. And sometimes people think they need the light or, oh, the window is pretty behind me. But that doesn't always translate very well. So you want to make sure you've got good lighting coming from in front of you. And depending on what you want to do with your background, again, if you're a realtor showing a house, you're going to be showing the house and you might be at the whim of the lighting that is there or how the lighting is outside that day. If you're in a retail location, you might be able to set things up in a certain position before you go live that are in the best space and nice layout that retail space has at that time. If you're a service provider like myself and you're doing coaching or training, you can think about, one, is this a video I'm going to download later, right? And then I could move myself over so that I've got some room in edit to put my logo here, or perhaps to put some bullets and text once I've edited my video, right? So those are some other things to consider. So those are the quick tips and the how-tos. So I'm packaging this up since the actual go live did not work super well. Some people were able to hop on the Zoom. So I'm grateful to those of you all for being able to hop on there and give me some of these great questions. So I hope this helps. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free. Follow my Facebook page at Sue Koch Catalyst. You can drop me some messages there. Shoot me an email at suekoch.com, or feel free to connect with me personally, Sue Koch on Facebook as well. And let me know if you have any other questions. And I look forward to seeing you live. All right, thanks. Have a great night.